this what if started. So what if Deku had a bunny quirk? I might stop that for now, or I might redo it. I'm not sure. I just don't feel really into it and all that, and yeah, I want to do the what if, but yeah, this what if Deku's quirk doesn't really have a good name for it in this one. I'm just gonna call it Vessel. What if Deku was Vessel? Okay, how this all starts is how Deku unlocked his quirk. His life was the same for a good 8 years to be exact, until his quirk awakened. Bakugo still bullied him for being quirkless. It gets to the point that he would leave his home and run away. He wouldn't go too far from the house since his mother can tell that he goes in the house and grabs food to eat. So the police knows he's around there. And Deku's mother walks the streets all day looking for him. There's a point that she does on top of a roof. She would go to try to get Deku, but he would step behind her and she would go to hug him, but he would say no and push her away, knocking her off the ledge of the building. As Deke goes to try to grab her, you see as his mother would fall down from the ground, hitting ground, and dies in the middle of the night. He would sit there crying, and he would think to himself he would give anything to take away her pain, to be switched. And the stress in his mind would unlock his quirk, a very useless quirk, just like he was, just how Bakugo called him, Deku, useless. It awakened, and his mother's death, he would see all the descriptions of who did it, and see her very thoughts and what it looked like when she died. And he would feel a sharp pain in his chest, and he would cough up blood. He would pass out from feeling this pain in his heart, and the police would find him the very next day. He would go, they would do tests on him, they would look at his profile, they would see that he's quirkless, but test shows now that he's not. And so, they would keep him in the hospital, but what happens is that now he seems sickly, having sharp pains in his heart and coughing up blood throughout his life. And he would go through this for a whole month. He eventually realized that his quirk allows him to feel pain of somebody's death and to see what happened and know what they thought and every description of what happened in his head. He can learn about people's quirk if they died and all that. And the closer they are to him, around him, the sharper the pain would be, the more information he would get. He figures out whenever he gets time to walk around, he feels a sharp pain whenever somebody was rushed across the hallway, and he would die. So they stop, and he would tap the person's finger, and he would see every information of their life. He is the vessel, information, you could say, in death, a vessel of souls. So, he would be marked down with an unknown disease, but because he never told them, that was his quirk that's causing him pain. Eventually, he'll get used to it, and now he can walk around even though this is happening. But the people think it's just him getting cured with all their help. So yeah, since this is an unknown disease that they think it is, they want to do as much studying, and that also applies to the body. With the same doctor who said that he was quirkless would ask if he could do the test, and that it could be very dangerous, and Deke would accept. And he would wake up with scars up and down his body from the doctor cutting into him, but he wouldn't care. And so this would be it until he was let out of the hospital, going home. But who you run into is a man in a black suit, asking him to join him, and your hatred for everything would help us. But of course, Deke would decline it and go off until he goes back to school. With everybody still make fun of him, and Bakugo still makes fun of him even though he knows what happened. Gets to the point that one of the lackeys of Bakugo that attacks him after school without Bakugo, Deke would take his pencil in one of his pouches and stab it into his chest. And the person would scream and hit against the wall. And this kid would have the wings, and he knew him since kindergarten or as a child. He would try to fly away, but Deke would grab him by the face and stick his finger in one of his eyes and tear off his wing, him dying that instant. But what would happen is that Deke would look at his arm where one of the scars were, and it would disappear. His quirk allows him to find information and get pain if somebody dies from natural causes, somebody else. But if he kills somebody, he would gain healing and other stuff. He gets agility and pretty much speedy reactions. No strength, because in his back of the mind, he thinks he's always going to be weak, nothing like All Might. So he would gain speed and fast reflexes from every kill. So yeah. You'll notice this. But, of course, he would be chased by police and heroes. And whenever a hero that's nice enough to come up to him without being mean, and they're gullible, he'll fake crime, he would cut them until they're dead. And eventually, Overhaul would find him again, and he would ask him again, and Deke would say yes if you can get the people from stop chasing him. So he would be taken to a bar, meeting Kiriri. Oh my god, give me a second. But when they get there, you see, as there would be a kid, I would say at least 14, right there, with him drinking something with his pinky off of it. And he had turned, seeing Deku, but he would turn away and ask one for all, or all for one, why did you bring a kid here? And he would say that this is a new recruit. You better be nice to him. And he would say yes. And all for one would teleport with one of his quirks and disappear, leaving Deke there. He would sit on the bar stool and Kurogiri would slide him something to drink whenever he asked him, and Deke would say some tea, hot tea. He'll brew it and slide it to him, and Deke would drink it there. Of course, Deke would kind of just sit there reading books, and he would given a suit to wear, a bartender suit. And yeah, Shigaraki wouldn't like him, so he would try to act the boss of him. And they would get into a fight with Deku and them trying to grab each other and trying to cut each other. But whenever every time Deku tries to cut him, Kurogiri would teleport his hands and knives, and they'll be stopped to fight. And yeah, one of the fights where Kurogiri's gone, they would destroy the bartender area with Deku slamming his hand and keeping his hands against the bartender area, and he would turn it all into ash and decay it. And they were supposed to be split apart. Overhaul would be informed of this, and then he has to find a way to keep them from fighting. He'd go there personally, tell them not to fight, and both Deku doesn't. He follows his orders and all that because he did help them from the police, and Shigaraki would respect them a lot, so they'd do it. But Deku would ask him, "What is that next to you?" And Overhaul would say, "Why is it Overhaul? God dang it!" All for One would say that this is a Nomu. It's a very complex Nomu, even though it seems to be a very dumb one. And Deku would ask, "What's the Nomu?" He would be explain to him what they are. Explain this is a high tier Nomu, and you can call him Johnny. If you want to keep him, you can. And Johnny would be Johnny. Was that the name that I said? But Johnny would stay with them. And it'd be kind of like, oh my god. Deku. Whenever Kurogiri calls him after 2 years of living there, 10 years old. You finally have a mission, dear Deku. What is it? Well, here. We need to get rid of a certain person, a low tier hero, but he's very good at finding information. It's part of his quirk, like yours. Is that so? So, it should be best for somebody to find information to finders. So, yeah. His hero name is called Sex, because his quirk allows him to target person and follow them as if, like, behind them as if he was flying above them. And he tagged Shigaraki, and he knew he did, so he took him around to a storage area across the town. I need you to get there. Take Johnny with you to get there quicker. Okay. Oh yeah, here. Throwing him a green blade. That is something from All for One Master. He says it's a poison. It's not a deadly poison, but it's a weakening poison. If you strike somebody with it, it would weaken them. Use it wisely. Don't just go throw them away. Okay. Johnny, come down. The Nomu jumps onto his shoulder, and he would open up a portal through his mouth. And he would hop up there. He would end up at least a block away from where the storage area is. He would dash towards it, getting ready to get there. And he would land. He would jump right on top of the roof of it, and he would call Shigaraki. And he would say, "What's your idiot? What are you calling me?" Well, I'm here to ask you where he is. He's on the south side of the building, looking through me at the window. You got him? Yeah. Jumping above in front of him. Of course, he would see that he's calling somebody, and he has the ability to read lips that he learned how to. So he look above, pulls out his gun and shoots at Deku. With Deku swinging, with it only hitting his arm. Coming down onto him, taking his knife, shoving it into his chest, and then he'd take his other knife and slice him in his shoulder, his poison knife. He would drop to the ground with him having a stab wound, but it won't kill him, since Deku would block it up. Picking him up and jumping down to Shigaraki, telling Johnny to open up a portal. They'll go through, ending up into the barn, throwing him down, asking him, how'd you find us and all that, and why are you chasing us? Of course, the man would pretty much start melting and busting away, and the man would disappear into like a clone of some sort, with them hearing a knock on the door, them opening it, seeing a man with a scar mark on his forehead, putting on a mask, and telling them that his name is Twice, and all that. And they would ask, why are you here? Are you a hero? And he would say, no. Actually, I'm here to ask you if I can join your... Saying that my quirk is known as Twice. I can duplicate somebody, and I can copy their quirk in some sort. The clone is very weak in terms of durability, but if you need a quirk and you can get the hand of somebody like that, I can help you with it. And they allow him in, telling him the gang and the master or the boss. And so yeah. But of course, Twice be joining the team earlier instead of seeing him at the start. And yeah, Deku would head out since it is around nighttime, telling them that I have to go home to sleep. And all that. But Twice would stop him, saying that dummy probably tricked people and all that, in the clone that I created said that there was somebody else at the area, so it's not good to go outside right now if somebody sees your face, if it was a hero. Deke say whatever, going back to the sofa and sits down, saying that I have to be stuck on the stupid bar with Shigaraki. I might as well cut him at night. With Shigaraki coming up and going to grab him, with Deku pulling out his knives, but of course, Kurogiri would stop him. And yeah, this would be the last part, or the first part of this What If. Goodbye.